Welcome all. There's a fire we're sitting around that is in the center, that is between us, holding us in a large, large circle. Wonderful that we're all here together. Thank you for joining us. I welcome you to a first call that we're calling with women around the globe, answering to what's happening in Ukraine. And I'm welcoming you together with those who hold the call with me. I'm welcoming you with Tanna. Tanna, who represents the Circle of Polish Grandmothers and who is holding a Sisterhood Heart and Song Circle in Warsaw tomorrow during the International Women's Rights Day, a circle with Polish and Ukrainian and Russian women. I welcome you with Gisela. Gisela, who represents the circles that are present here from US and beyond. Specifically the chakra circle, the circle of 7, the million circle, the circles within the circles. With Agnieszka, whose roots are on Ukrainian land and who for the last year has been singing songs with Ukrainian grandmothers, songs from Bulacik and Donetsk. I welcome you with Ella, who's our tech support and taking care of everything running smoothly and us having conversations with nothing standing in between. And with Julie, who's gonna be doing generative scribing, sensing into what is being said and sensing into what is between what's being said and capturing that visually. We had our first design call and our only design call yesterday. And in that design call, we realized that there are two impulses that request and require our attention. And that's the impulse to be with and to sense into, and the impulse to act from. And we decided that today's call is about the being with. And that, as a result, then it turned out that it means we're gonna have another call that is about acting from. So that's a warning. I'm gonna give you more information about that at the end, but that happened. So we're following what's happening. So today is a call to be together in a circle around a fire. And that means that we're going to be in this larger circle together, and then we're going to have an opportunity to gather in smaller circles and come back to the large one, breathing in and out. We're recording this meeting and we would like to share it, but as a private recording for you and those you and all of us would like to share it with, but not it being completely open to a wider public. That's our intention. Tanna, I would pass on to you.
Thank you. I'm Tanna Jakubowicz-Mount. I'm from Poland, I'm sitting in Warsaw. I was born right after the war, Second World War in 1946. I'm Polish Jewish. So the war was cruel to us. We lost many family members. So I feel deeply for Ukrainians and for all people who are touched by this war, for Russian people, Belarusian and Polish people. We are welcoming all Ukrainians coming to our country, giving them shelter and food and job. And my call now is to call the directions for this circle, because I'm a grandmother sitting in a Polish circle, grandmothers, and we've learned the tradition of North America native people who came to us to deliver their tradition and knowledge. And in 1988, I was initiated and given the name Thunder Bear Woman, which changed after 12 years for Tender Bear Woman. But I have my thunder also close to my heart. So let me to call the directions, and that's 7 directions for our medicine wheel, who is connecting with the whole creation through our vibrations. So please now we turn to the keepers of the East. And this is the direction of the new beginnings, of the light rising over horizon, of a dawn and spring, of the illumination and inspiration. Please, the keepers of the East, be with us, teach us, show us your ways. Now we turn to the keepers of the South, direction of Earth's element, vitality, abundance, fertility of the Mother Earth's womb, generosity and offering, passion of life. Please, keepers of the South, be with us, teach us, show us the way. Now we turn to the keepers of the West, direction of the water element. Deep change, introspection, transformation, death of the old ways and birth of the new. Please, keepers of the West, be with us, teach us, show us your ways. We turn to the keepers of the North, direction of the air space element. We call to our ancestors, our roots, the wisdom and spiritual guides. You can call your spiritual teachers and guides, your ancestors, so they be with us in this circle. Please, ancestors and spiritual guides, our grandmothers and grandfathers, please be with us, teach us, show us your ways. Now we look up to the sky and call the beings of the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, the endless blue, all angels and ascendant masters. And I call the Shambhala warriors, and thunder beings, please come with us. Help us, show us your ways. Now we put our hands on the ground. We turn to Mother Earth, who gives us life, nourishment, and rocking us in her arms. We ask you, Mother, to be patient until we, as your children, will return to you with love and respect. Please, guardians and stewards of Mother Earth, be with us, teach us, show us your ways. And finally, we call the guardians of the sacred mystery deep inside our being. We ask you, guardians of the sacred mystery, to open the gates. Please give us the opening to our spiritual core, our true nature, of knowing who we are and what we are here for. Please be with us, teach us, show us your way. So our sacred circle is already protected, and we are here to sharing from our hearts, deep listening, and just being open for what's coming. Thank you.
Tanna. And thank you all, each one of you for being here. And I just want to invite you for a moment, take a look at each other. Look who is here. All these incredible women from so many places. Yeah, take a look, share a smile. Enjoy the incredible power that comes with feeling the sense of connectedness, the spontaneous feeling of community in the face of this horrific crisis. I so very much feel that in this kind of connection, we can access and support our capacity to have love, to be compassionate, to embrace the world with our arms wide open. And that in this embrace, in this togetherness, when we act from this place, we have the most powerful, nurturing, healing agency in the world. I deeply believe it is from this place at the center of the circle that we can come to remake this world. And I want to speak the name of Anne Dosher, who is no past, who fought in the Second World War in the British Air Force, and who taught many of us how to be in circle. And she would remind us again and again that the circle is the birthing place of the new human. And I really want us to feel this wisdom. And I feel that we are all stringing together like this incredibly powerful and loving meridian or song line that embraces the body of the earth. This is my intention for being here. This is what has called me here, and I am honored to be here with you. Thank you. Karolina.
What brings me here is the calling to create and to walk these two living bridges. The bridge between those who stayed in Ukraine, those who are fleeing, those who are receiving them, those who are behind the scenes of the receiving, and those who ask themselves, how can I be useful? And the second bridge is the bridge between the rapid response and large solidarity for Ukraine and people of Ukraine, and the solidarity other many global crises need from us now. The climate crisis that needs to be not forgotten, the other wars and other borders where people are stuck on and are not welcome. And I want to sit with you together, sisters, learning how to live into that solidarity that teaches us and shows us the way how to include everybody. And I send my heart out to all those who cannot be here with us today because it feels too tender, too fragile, too difficult. And I bow to all of us in this circle today now.
Thank you all for sharing what was already shared. I was so honored and humbled to be in this circle with you all. And yeah, sensing the power of this space also. What brings me here is a hope and trust that this kind of healing spaces can empower and soothe us, can make us more resilient, can show our interconnectedness on many, many different levels. What brings me here is the trust and hope that there are many different ways to contribute to the world that is more based on care and love and justice. And I believe in this one deeply. What brings me here is also, as already Karolina shared at the beginning, the richness of the culture and art and music of the land that I want to cherish and share as a healing power. And also in the midst of organizing and this awareness of how many urgent and important needs are there right now, and how what's happening is the top of so many different things that are violent around, and our response needs to be from the gut, very holistic, is also this need of stillness and connection. These moments where we can pause together and look around and think about the next steps. Yeah. And there is also this joy in me of seeing so many incredible women sharing one space in many different places of the world. And this is magic, and this is incredibly precious. And the richness of this soil will bring beautiful fruits, I know. There is a belief that we can co-create the world in which things like this will not have conditions to happen. And part of my contribution to that is also music and sound. And I would love to share a song with all of you. This song comes from Belarus. It's roughly 15 kilometers from the Russian border. It's sung by Bulacik singing collective. And you can find it in different versions in different parts of the region, because these songs are living creatures, so they are being shared and adapted, and the melody line can change a bit because it's more about how you feel it and share it than to put the notes on it and to make it perfect. This is a song that we are singing together with a group of women the whole last year, looking closely at the faces of the women singing in front of us on the screen. These were also the women living in Belarus that was attacked as one of the first parts of Ukraine, what was breaking our hearts very, very much. And I want to bring this song here, also bringing the voices of these women. And I just want to say loud that these are not the songs to sing solo, and my singing partner just got lost and went to another space, but I want to feel her presence here also with me. The song is called Zelenaya Vishnya. Zelenaya Vishnya spit korenia wyszła, dalaś mnie maty, dejaj nie prywyszna, dalaś mnie maty, dejaj nie prywyszna, jak wejdu na choru, taj glianu do domu, warit żlewie wieczeru, taj na moju doniu, warit żlewie wieczeru, taj na moju doniu. Waryla, waryla, nie bacha to troszkę, nie masz tudy doniu, nie męskie, nie lożki, nie masz tudy doniu, nie męskie, nie lożki. Męskie pobyla, lożki polomyla, zrazu we wtorok. Ajaj, ciebie, mamo, na dzień razem w sorok. Ajaj, ciebie, mamo, na dzień razem w sorok.
Someone whispered, thank you. Thank you. Agnieszka. It is good to hear the sound of your world. And I can feel you streaming from wherever you are to wherever we are sitting. Thank you for bringing that aliveness to us. In a time when we need it so very much to be able to feel and be with what's going on. So we also, of course, want to have an opportunity for all of you to be able to speak, to reflect, and to share. And so in just a few moments, you will be in small groups of 4 to 5 women. And I believe somebody is going to put the questions into the chat, so you have that as a visual anchor once you are there. And the questions are, these are invitations, these questions. And is to speak from what is calling you to be here. And what are the intentions or the prayers that you're carrying in your heart in response to the threat of life around the globe? And of course, right now, very specifically in the Ukraine, and as Europe absorbs the pain of this. And so it'll be about a half an hour. And you all know what it means to be together in circle, and the gift of listening and an undivided attention as you go around the circle to speak, to take your turn. And we'll let you know when the circle will be closing a few minutes ahead. And then we'll come back together again here to hear some of the voices of some of the circles. And I want to plant a seed right now also, that the intentions we hold, the prayers we speak, they say a lot about what the world needs and what can be done. So while we listen with open heart, we also listen with, how does this inform me around what is mine to do? So let's go from here, and I will see you in a small group, some of you, and then we will go back here.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to this large circle. Welcome from these smaller circles. I want to extend an apology to everybody who suddenly entered this room and was sent into a breakout. And I want to extend an apology to everybody who was in a breakout and sharing, and suddenly somebody joined you. There were people who were coming as we were walking, and that's what I decided. So thank you for, thank you for being these women of whom I know that it's okay to do that because we're gonna know how to hold it. What we would like to create space now for, and we're gonna have around 20 minutes for that, so a lot of spaciousness, is really to weave as this larger circle this prayer together. So if there's a prayer flowing through your heart, coming from your smaller circle to this larger circle, if you could raise your hand like that, we would see what's the order of speaking. If that doesn't work, then just unmute yourself and let's figure it out like that. Let us weave together. What is the prayer flowing through your heart?
I have a prayer that I wrote many years ago that I would be very happy to share. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly, Katie.
Okay. Our Mother, whose love embraces us, bountiful is thy name. Thy mysteries come, thy dreams be one, on earth as they are in our hearts. Give us this day our yoni bread, as we forgive ourselves and those who and forgive us our forgetfulness, as we forgive ourselves and those who forget us. Lead us not into alienation, but deliver us from separation. For thine is our garden, our basket, our tapestry, forever and ever. Blessed be.
Karolina?
Tanna, please go ahead.
We shared in a circle that it's time to wake up finally, because we are on the peak of the world crisis, a very threat to our lives, the global life. And the vision came to me that we need to gather together to, as women, to rebuild our house, which is collapsing. We put our hands and hearts together to rebuild and to clean this old house from these old illusions and this old system which is destroying life at the cost of destroying life. Yeah. And to really clean up and put the fire in the oven, open the windows and make a bread, and sit at the table together, call everybody to sit at the table together and share our bread and love, so there is enough love and bread for everybody. That's my prayer. Thank you.
Melissa, go ahead.
Unmute yourself.
It is my prayer that as women, and actually anyone, that we can, through this crisis and through all the crises that we've been through in our lives, that we can get to a place where we can feel so much compassion within ourselves that it spreads to others, and that we no longer need to battle each other, that we can find ways that we can come together and listen to each other and to speak and to use our voices and our minds to solve problems rather than in the ways that are happening now. And that is my hope. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Melissa. Suri.
Thank you, Carol. My prayers as I'm calling in from Warsaw, Poland, and I feel a strong connection with the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and I pray for him each morning and each evening as a representation of so much of female qualities in a man. And for me, this is a hope that the new leadership is present, and what he's already achieved is showing that this way that sometimes is called an Athens doctrines or the soft way is actually effective. And I'm also running a resilience program, and for me resilience is like an analogy for a coffee bean. It's not, you know, we can say that there are people who are more like eggs. There are liquidish, but when you put the egg to the boiling water, then the egg gets harder. The others might be like carrots when they're generally very tough, hard cookies. But when you put a carrot to the boiling water, it gets soft. And when you put a coffee bean to the boiling water, it changes the chemistry completely. It changes. So I believe, and this is my hope and my prayer, that we all will be able to transform on the individual level. So as a collective, we can not win this war, I would say, really transform to this new that we've been preparing for. All my relations.
All my relations.
Anna.
Yes, what I have is not exactly a prayer, but I feel called to share this. I don't know if you can see it. This is part of an amber bracelet that I bought in Krakow a few years ago after a retreat at Auschwitz. And this bracelet broke a few years ago. And I have all the beads, and I could never quite figure out why I didn't restring it. And I think I'm going to restring it now. And these beads represent all of us around the globe together, working for peace, for a future for our children. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wendy, you heard me.
I want to call in my ancestors to our conversation. And I want to acknowledge that I'm here in solidarity with all of those who are doing work in, around, and deeper in support of the Ukraine. And I want to, I have first cousins on 5 continents as a result of war. And I have family that was caught behind the borders. And I sometimes think to myself, what might it have been like for my family members who are fleeing out of fear to have had some underlying energetic connection that helped keep them safe. And I think that's what we're doing for Ukraine in the hopes of the people in Ukraine. And and my hope and desire here is that for those of us who might have some of those connections into our ancestry, that we know that doing something different now is also healing for them. So thank you for providing this space to speak.
Yeah. All my directions.
Hi, my name is Leslie, and I so appreciated being in my small circle with Amy, Marlise, Leanne, and Shayna, a representation of being in this larger circle with all of you. And I guess my prayer coming out of that time together is that instead of feeling like there's so little that I can do, knowing that every single moment my actions are speaking to the peace that I want to see in the world, so that I handle my relationships and the situations of conflict that occur in my life with the energy of peace and love that I want to see way out there. And hopefully that is the way the world changes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to bring in some of the voices in the chat. Love and comfort for the animals. May the deepest desire in my heart for peace manifest through me in the relationships and situation in my life. I wish to thank all the women who have organized this sacred circle. May we allow ourselves to feel all our emotions deeply, whichever they may be. I pray from the chat. My prayer goes to all the Ukrainian women fleeing Ukraine with their children, that these women find strength and power to walk till they are secure, till their children are safe. I pray that they too can find a moment for themselves to breathe out. My prayer is for compassion abound in the world, to recognize we all are one, for women to stand up in solidarity and make a difference. Marina, my heart.
Well, I was thinking all the time, and a lot of prayers come to my mind. But thinking the one that is right now the strongest is that we would be able to speak to others with an open heart, because it's such an ease right now to build walls based on, very easily spread information. So may we all be able to see the facts, and to, if we don't, to be curious and to look for them, and to still believe that there is good in people, whatever they tell us and try to scare us with. So that would be my prayer.
Gisela.
Oh, I'm not quite sure I have the words. Just as I'm noticing myself feeling, what I'm feeling is this: can I bear it? Can we bear the time it takes to breathe out and to connect with peace inside? And the urgency seems so great. And I sit here, I feel like I'm sitting on hot coals. And I guess I'm getting cooked like all of you. And I hear again what Sylvia was saying about what if I'm a coffee bean, or a butterfly, or a chrysalis, or whatever it is that I'm being made into by this time. Let that be. Can I let that happen? Because of the vulnerability that I feel sitting on these hot coals. so that what I can bring into the world is more peace. And what Leslie was saying is like, how can I live my life to stay connected to peace so I can be an instrument of peace? And it's fucking hard. So I am praying for the strength to be remade in this face of the Ukraine. And I want to walk with you arm in arm to know, because I can't do this alone. And that we'll figure it out rather than think we have, like I feel like I have to know already. So this is from this place of sitting on hot coals. Thank you.
Two more prayers from the chat. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. My prayer which came up in our group, being women is rich of spiritual and many other resources. When we take the risk to co-create, there comes up unbelievable options to give away deep from our hearts with others in love and peace. I'm talking to my sister Julie, who has been scribing the whole time with us. Julie, how are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, there is a lot. There is a lot. I'm very touched by all your sharings. I sent the drawings to Ella. I don't know if she got
Wonderful. Yeah. Ella, let's see if you can share the drawing with us that Julie sent to you.
Right away.
As our center is quiet, I'm just gonna check. Ella, are you there, or is it your kids who carried you away?
There, the images are being opened right now.
Wonderful. And the prayers keep coming. There's another prayer that says, Great Mother, help us or help US? I think probably both. Up to peace, love, compassion, and understanding. Hold us in your unconditional love. This is a visual created by Julie as we were in circle. And the invitation right now is to engage in something that's called visual resonance. And that basically means that we allow ourselves to sit in intentional stillness with the image and allow the image to impact us. And as it does, we share in chat with these 3 prompts: what I see, what I feel, and what I sense. We are all one. Fire, compassion, restringing the necklace that had been broken. Love. There is still so much vibrancy available to us all. The power of life. Activation. The fire that renews. Excitement and connection. I see fire. I feel the calling for togetherness. I sense unity is the key. Bubbling fire. Compassion. Oneness. Love. Being with life is what I see. Feeling the connection of our sisterhood. Sensing the beads one by one shining. Women keeping the fires burning around the world as one with love and compassion in our hearts. I see the old world cracking and the new rising. I feel warm and calm. I sense the love that is streaming out in the universe. Fire burning out the old to make room for the new. We belong to each other. We are interconnected. It isn't time to shut down. Oh no, keep an open heart. We are connected in our bones and the echoes of our ancestors. Together we are strong. Chaos and order, earth and flame, grounding and light, love, connection, togetherness. Grounding in the earth we share. Flames of love. Space for the co-creation of new, and new already happening. Tending small fires. I feel energy and hope I see the beads are being strung to connect us through the seen and the unseen. The beads are strung with love. Fire of transformation. I see fire. I feel compassion. I sense love. Feminine wisdom burns forth from our hearts, our voices, our actions. Fire, curiosity, love, and protection for life in connection. Hope. Do with grace. Eyes open for each to see their role in peace. Trust, hope, compassion, transformation, love. I see fire, seeds, good, vibes connecting, movement, love, respect in between, structures interconnected. I see the beauty of each heart expressing its truth. I feel the connection and strength of a global sisterhood. I sense the unity that no matter the distance exists now and always to carry us forward. I see sands moving. I feel that we are gathering together. I sense the power to move and change. Let us, united souls, come together for all. The cleansing power of fire to burn and change. Our compass, compassion. I see wisdom. I feel the time coming to commit to peace with open hearts and ready. I sense we equals they equals we. Validation, support, conviction, strength born from love. Let's be the beads on the string of the amber bracelet, coming together as one. There is no separation, we are one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julie, for the visual. We're gonna send it to you all. Let us stand strong in our sisterhood circle to move and change the world. And the beads keep coming. And there was another prayer. Up, 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 up. At the top of that page. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna bring that prayer to us now. Here's the prayer. I pray that there will be compassion in the world, that we will recognize that we are all one, that women will stand up in solidarity and make a difference. I pray for justice and a commitment to support Ukraine under attack by every person with power. I pray for racial justice, for anti-racism that has been and will be love and peace in practice. Love and peace that transcends my privilege of having white skin. One that will allow the many people being treated horribly today on Ukrainian and Polish borders to feel support, love, and justice. I pray for the involvement of women around the world to persuade governments in Germany, the US, the Republic of Congo, and New Zealand to truly respond to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Finally, I pray that in future we will have governments that cherish love and freedom, not capitalism, war, and exploitation. Thank you so much. Even though that was not the plan, I'm ready to, pass on to my sisters. Can somebody take over?
Karolina, thank you for your attention to everything here. And I believe there's a couple of things that we're being called to do right now. And I wanted to give a chance also for Tanna to bring in further reflections of what you've been hearing in the sharing of the group, the people who shared from their small groups, but also in the prayers, if something is there for you, Tanna, to speak to. And I also, maybe Karolina, you can take a couple of moments to recollect yourself and then also go back to the place where we speak about what is next and opportunities. There are opportunities that we have identified and that actually I know Karolina and Agnieszka and others are actively working on where we can make a direct contribution right now. And but just before we go there, Tanna, I'm wondering from where you're sitting in Poland and from the wisdom you hold in your heart, if there are some reflections that you have for us right now.
I'm really deeply moved by beautiful prayers, and I believe these prayers will spread, reverberate, how you say, to the whole web of life, and like a very large blanket, we are weaving together to calm and embrace with love and compassion. And what I feel is like we are being the gardener, loving Mother Earth and sowing the seeds of love and compassion and respect and attention and collaboration, and so the spring is coming, and sowing the seeds, I believe they will emerge, as beautiful plants, and maybe the world will turn into the garden. I know this is romantic vision, but it comes up from all these prayers, and I also deeply believe that we are rebuilding our home So it's, you know, it's good place to live for all living creatures, for all creation. So that's for now. Thank you.
I will share a couple of reflections here too. One is I was very happy to join a small group and to be truly affirmed in this sometimes not easy choice to sit with the need for us to actually move into genuine relationship on a feeling level with what's going on in the world and in the Ukraine. Understanding mentally what is going on is very helpful, but it is not enough. And so I just again want to speak to there is the urgency to act and do. And there's also a real need to develop our personal relationship with what is going on. So, so I feel affirmed in the choice we made for this call. And I also, before Karolina speaks, I just want to leave you also with this question of, and I hope we will do some of this in the next time we speak, is what sense can we make together about what is going on in the bigger picture of things? And what solutions are emerging? What might be possible now that wasn't possible before, even just 2 weeks ago? It is us who will have to take those steps. There is no one else. So that's where I am leaning in on us, and I'm in that space with you. So I'll give it back to Karolina.
I'm happy to take over from Karolina.
Okay, good. Yay. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
How to lower my hand. That's how I do it. And thank you so much. I'm also so deeply moved and touched and humbled and grateful to be in this circle with all of you and hear voices that have so many different experiences and so many different paths of life and so many different struggles and fights that you're fighting and contributions that you're making. It's incredible. I wanted also to just echo this importance that for me is just so burning of this balancing the spiritual activism that I think about this space as a bit and the political activism that still needs to operate in different systems that harm real people. Just before our meeting today, there was a woman we were supposed to meet, a witch, and she brought us rings that look like this. They're with little beads. And today in our little circle, it was Edith saying that, wow, I've been to so many circles, but I've never been to an international circle. And it brought this poem of Rilke of I live my life widening circles, and somehow these beads and circles are just so present in me and fill me with a lot of hope, a lot of hope. Yeah, so taking over just to share what's planned further on, very hands in the soil. The spring is coming, and this is our first call. And we had yesterday our first design call that ended up with a real need of coming together yet again. So the invitation is to meet all together on Sunday, same time, and think about the plants that we have already planted. So the things that you're already doing, the projects that are there, but also maybe things that are coming up, but you would need somebody to help you take care of this plant so it can root well and grow big. And echoing the beautiful words of Tanna, thinking about how we can grow the garden of hope and compassion togetherness, community, and collaboration, with awareness that we function in global power structures that privilege one over the others. And this is our space to actually find a space to share our powers and privileges and divide them fairly. So the document with the ideas will be sent to you also. If you would like to share it before, you can add what you would like to contribute with, or what you're doing and you would need support with. You will also receive an email with the proposals of how to support directly. And as I'm speaking, I'm just going to say it out loud because it came to me when I was singing the song. The women that taught us the songs are still in Ukraine, and they are in Donetsk and Belarus, and they most probably will receive humanitarian aid, etc. But if there would be a way for direct support for this community, that would be just, yeah, avoiding so many other processes of how to deliver this support. So await our emails with all the details. We are extremely excited to continue this conversation and gather yet again and put the beads together and widen the circles. Thank you so much.
Just going to add that even if you don't have a proposal for working on something, please come. We only need a few who have a few ideas, and then we need a lot of others to support them, right? So we will make something happen. So just we trust each other that we will together. Yeah.
Bring your powers, bring your creativity, bring your hope, bring your skills, bring whatever you can, and let's come to the circle and put them together.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I pass to Tanna.
Thank you. So it's time to accomplish our sacred circle. And before I do that, I'd like to wish for all the women in the world for International Women's Day to stay with our open, disarmed hearts. We need to disarm our hearts and really open them and stay in our strengths and truth. So let us embrace all the women in the world. Because the truth comes from all of us and really brings hope, it brings healing and peace. So for now, we need to liberate the directions. So it means that we let the divine beings we invited and our ancestors and ascendant masters, all the angels and all our allies, to let them go where they belong. So we need to make a big breath in, deep breath in, and on the out breaths, we just free all the beings which we called for this circle. Let them go, just let them go. Let them be free. Okay, thank you so much. And I'm speechless. Okay.
Agnieszka, you're going to sing us another song as we leave, so we can leave with the sound of your song.
I'm speechless, but I'm not songless. So
I'll share a song as a goodbye gift, and it's a song for spring that is sung to bees so they can get ready for the spring to collect the honey. Moi mili bżoli, gotujcie się, bo przyszła, że wiesnana pora. Letit, nie linujcie się, na chusty medy. Rivni voski, časti roji, Gospodu Bohu na użytok, a nam na użytok. Moi mili bżoli, gotujcie się, bo przyszła, że wiesna pora. Letit, nie linujcie się, na chusty medy. Rivni voski, časti roji, Gospodu Bohu na pożytok, a